Imagine waking up one day and sounding like you're from a completely different country, or having a hand that acts on its own, doing things you can't control. These aren't just plots from sci-fi movies, they're real medical conditions, and today, we're diving into 3 of the most fascinating and mind-boggling cases in medical history. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. Our first story begins in Norway during World War II. A woman named Astrid L. suffered a head injury during an air raid. When she regained consciousness, something strange had happened. Her voice, her very identity, had changed. She was speaking with a thick, German accent. In the middle of wartime Norway, this was more than a medical issue. It led to her being ostracized by her own community who thought she was a spy. Foreign accent syndrome is an incredibly rare condition caused by damage to the parts of the brain responsible for speech. The injury alters how the muscles in the mouth and tongue move, unintentionally mimicking the rhythms and patterns of a foreign accent. It's not just German accents either. There have been cases where people suddenly spoke with Australian, British, or even Chinese accents. Since its discovery, fewer than 100 cases have been documented. Think about it. You go to bed sounding like yourself and the next day you sound like a completely different person. How do you explain that to people? Some patients have described feeling like strangers in their own bodies. It's fascinating but also deeply isolating. Would you embrace it, or would it feel like losing a part of who you are? Let me know in the comments. Now let's talk about alien hand syndrome, a condition that sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi thriller. Imagine this. You're reaching for a cup of coffee, but your other hand slaps it away. Or worse, your hand tries to harm you. It's not just a figure of speech, it's real, and it's terrifying. Alien hand syndrome occurs when the connection between the brain's hemispheres is disrupted, often due to surgery, stroke, or trauma. One of the most famous cases involved a woman who underwent surgery to treat epilepsy. Afterward, her left hand developed a mind of its own. It would grab objects randomly, push people away, and even attempt to choke her while she was asleep. Doctors believe the syndrome happens because the 2 halves of the brain, which usually work together, start sending conflicting signals. Essentially, one hand is following orders, and the other is freelancing. Treatments include therapies to train the hand or even giving it something to hold to keep it busy, but the emotional toll is profound. How would you feel if your own body betrayed you? While the first 2 cases highlight the brain's mysteries, our third story is about the miracles of modern medicine. In 2014, an 11-year-old boy named Alan from Texas experienced a life-threatening car accident that left him without half of his skull. That's right, 50% of his skull was gone, but thanks to groundbreaking technology, he not only survived, but thrived. Doctors used 3D printing to create a custom titanium implant that perfectly fit the missing portion of Alan's skull. The process involved taking detailed scans of his head, designing the implant digitally, and then using a specialized printer to create the piece layer by layer. The surgery was a success, and Alan's recovery was nothing short of miraculous. This case shows us the incredible potential of medical innovation. What was once thought impossible is now reality. 3D printing is being used for prosthetics, organ models, and even skin grafts. Who knows what the future holds? So, what do you think? From accents that aren't your own to hands with a mind of their own, to regrowing a skull with cutting-edge tech, the human body and the field of medicine never ceases to amaze. These stories are a reminder of how fragile yet resilient we are. Which case fascinated you the most? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more incredible stories from the world of medicine and science. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Subscribe for more, explore the mysteries of medicine. GAP2S. Let's dive into another fascinating medical mystery, the case of the man who couldn't sleep. GAP2S. This rare condition, known as fatal familial insomnia, is a genetic disorder that prevents sleep and leads to death within months. GAP2S. Imagine being unable to sleep no matter how tired you are. GAP2S. The brain's thalamus, which controls sleep, deteriorates, causing severe insomnia, hallucinations, and eventually death. GAP2S. There is no cure, and the condition is incredibly rare, with only a few dozen families affected worldwide. GAP2S. This case highlights the importance of sleep and the devastating effects of its absence. Next, let's explore the mystery of the Stoneman syndrome. This rare genetic disorder, also known as fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva, FOP, causes soft tissues to turn into bone over time. GAP2S. Imagine your muscles, tendons, and ligaments gradually turning into bone, restricting movement and causing severe pain. GAP2S. There is no cure, and any attempt to remove the extra bone surgically results in even more bone growth. GAP2S. This condition is extremely rare, with only about 800 confirmed cases worldwide. GAP2S. The Stone Man syndrome is a stark reminder of how our bodies can sometimes turn against us in unimaginable ways. Our final story is about the girl who feels no pain. This rare condition, known as congenital insensitivity to pain, CIP, is a genetic disorder that prevents the sensation of pain. While it might sound like a superpower, it's actually incredibly dangerous. Pain is a crucial signal that alerts us to injury or illness. Without it, individuals with CIP can suffer severe injuries or infections without realizing it. This condition is extremely rare, with only a few hundred cases reported worldwide. The girl who feels no pain teaches us the importance of pain as a protective mechanism for our bodies.